Who makes the best unnecessarily expensive football shirt? And I know what you're thinking, this guy's just exaggerating for views, but I'm not. These 4 shirts that I'm holding in my hands retail for a collective $737. You could basically buy the new Xbox and the new PS5 for that. The question is, why? And I think the reason that brands would like you to believe is the technology aspect of what are basically still football shirts, and we'll talk about that in this video, but I figured it would be interesting to compare the top of the line shirt options from Nike, Adidas, as well as Puma. What are the differences between them? How do they compare to the cheaper models? How do they fit? And I think most importantly, who makes the best unnecessarily expensive shirt? And if you're interested in some authentic shirts in particular, there will be links to Nike, Adidas, and Puma ones down below in the description where you'll be able to pick them up below their normal retail prices with some exclusive SR4U coupon codes. But you know what isn't unnecessarily expensive? Pure grip socks. Compared to the $30, $40, $50 that you'll have to pay for some grip socks options, Pure Grip socks available at puregripsocks.com are available for just $14.99 in 9 different colors. puregripsocks.com, it's linked down below. As always, if you guys do end up enjoying this one and perhaps want to see more videos of football shirts on the channel, don't forget to support this one with a like. That lets me know that you want to see more. And if you are new here watching for the first time and don't want to miss out on weekly content on everything football boots, make sure you hit that subscribe button along with the little bell notification so you don't miss out on the next new video. Now specifically with Nike, Adidas, and Puma, they make 2 different versions of all of their shirts, a replica version and an authentic version. The replica model gets a bad rep because replica has been a word that was taken by the counterfeit industry, and they call all of their fake products replicas, when in fact replica doesn't mean fake, at least when you're talking about football shirts. Now from Nike, Adidas, and Puma, if you want a replica variation of any of their club or country shirts, they're gonna run you $90 US, which is still quite expensive for a shirt, but a lot less ridiculous than their authentic prices, which of course are the shirts that the pros are actually wearing in matches that you watch on TV or perhaps in person if you're lucky enough. In this video, we're going to be specifically focusing on the authentic shirts, which are the less generic, more high-tech football shirt options, hence the ridiculous price tag, which we'll be going over in just a second. Now the designs of these shirts is not what I want to focus on in this video. We're more so concerned about the materials, the technology, the fit, and the overall quality considering how much you're paying. With that said, every brand kind of has their own design for every individual season, and I did want to run you through the shirts that I have. Again, teams and players are not important here. They're pretty much just examples and or shirts that I wanted to hang on the wall in my office. Mostly the second part. From Nike, I have the PSG away with, of course, number 7 Mbappe on the back. Also from Nike, I have this authentic Tottenham home shirt with Gareth Bale number 9 on the back. And the reason why I have 2 Nike shirts for this video is this shirt in particular has the kind of unusual collar design that Nike has on a lot of their shirts this season. And I figured that was an important one to highlight, and I wanted the Mbappe shirt anyways. From Adidas, I have the authentic Juventus home with, I'll let you guess what's on the back. And for those that are gonna comment why I didn't get a Messi shirt for this video, I already have like 9 Barcelona Messi jerseys. I have 0 Ronaldo Juventus jerseys, so take it easy. And then finally from Puma, the authentic Manchester City home shirt with Kevin De Bruyne number 17 on the back. Take your pick on which one you think looks the best, but again, that's not the focus of this video. Now this is where things get really interesting and also super ridiculous. How much do these shirts actually cost? And we're gonna start from the cheapest one and work our way up. Believe it or not, the cheapest authentic shirt from the 3 big brands is from Adidas. Their authentic shirts, this Juventus authentic home shirt, retails for a mere $130. But when you add in the Scudetto patch on the chest, the Serie A patch on the arm, and then of course Ronaldo number 7 on the back in authentic lettering, it boosts the price up to $168. In second place, I guess, we have Puma with their authentic Manchester City home shirt. All of their authentic shirts for this season retail for $140, $10 more than the Adi ones. But again, it's a Premier League shirt. Add in the Premier League patch on the one arm because there's already a sponsor patch on the other, and then the authentic De Bruyne lettering on the back. that boosts the retail price all the way up to $173, which with the name compared to the Ronaldo one is really not that far off. And as if there was ever any doubt, the most expensive authentic shirt from the three big brands comes from Nike. I know, you're shocked. The authentic PSG away shirt that I have right here, and all of their authentic shirts for that matter, retail for an astonishingly high $165. Add in the Mbappe lettering that I have on this shirt, and that boosts the retail price to $190. But wait, there's more. If I put this on the ground and show you this Tottenham home shirt, it still retails for $165 on its own, but when you add the Premier League patches on both arms and then the authentic Gareth Bale lettering on the back, it boosts up to $205 for a white shirt that you're gonna spill spaghetti sauce on the first time that you wear it. Now, all of these authentic shirts claim to be packed with technology. However, we must remember that at the end of the day, they're just shirts. It's one thing to believe that your football boots are gonna make you play better, but if you think your shirt, your authentic shirt that you paid potentially upwards of $200 for, is gonna make you a better player, you need to practice more. With that said, instead of me just reading off all the tech specs for these individual shirts, I figured it would be more fun and certainly more interesting to stick exclusively to the tech specs that are listed on the tags. So starting with Adidas, which has by far the cheapest and least interesting tags of these shirts. You can see you have the Juventus and Adidas logos there on the front. Then this little piece peeking out that shows heat dry technology with even a little chart of the technology that's happening in real time. Keep cool. Our cooling technology keeps you feeling cool, dry, and confident in a game. That sounds worth it. Puma is much more fancy. You can see you have this Manchester City officially licensed product with the holographic sticker. Very nice to see. Then you have what they're calling Shin Cool technology. I really appreciate how the technology featured in a shirt to keep you cool is called Shin Cool. Makes sense. This garment features Shin Cool, a highly advanced and adaptable performance fiber that reacts to your body temperature. Shin Cool helps to adjust the humidity using its advanced moisture absorbing properties that provide an altogether comfier feeling during high levels of performance. Wow. So I just read everything that's on the front of this tag, but then when you open it up, it has the exact same information repeated 4 times, all in the same language. And then the same thing on the back. They do specify that it is Slim Fit Pro, which Puma is known for really tight-fitting, authentic shirts. That's just a normal tag. And then you can see it says Moisture Management Dry Cell, which I'm not going to bore you with more details on materials. As for Nike or Jordan brand in this case, keep in mind they are the same company. They do of course specify that it's slim fit with this little tag right here. You have your price tag and size tag right there. And then this is kind of detached. What does it say? On the back of that, it specifies Vapor Knit, which is the authentic style of shirt that Nike makes. Lightweight, breathable, and quick drying. Inside it says, Nike Vapor Knit apparel is engineered to seamlessly combine exceptional lightweight cooling, reduced cling, and precision fit to help keep your fastest from start to finish. $165 for a shirt that makes you faster. And then you have this tag right here that says Move to Zero, basically letting you know that this shirt is constructed of at least 75% recycled materials. So I guess what we can conclude from all of that is that these are all very expensive shirts that aim to keep you cool and dry, which is totally different from other shirts. So we're gonna start with the Adidas shirt because it's the one that I'm the least impressed with in regards to the materials used. It's the cheapest feeling one, if that makes any sense at all. Now you can see up close, the material has what I can only describe as somewhat of a grid pattern. It's maybe gonna be very difficult to pick up on video, but that same pattern, the same thickness of material is what you're gonna find scattered across the entire shirt. There is absolutely no variation until you get to the collar, which is kind of this just standard kind of stretchy material. It is very soft though, so I'll give it that. Of course, you do have the variation of the Juventus stripes, which kind of have this painted on look, which again, I think looks very cheap up close. From a distance, it's fine. And then it's just solid white along the back. Something that is interesting with the authentic shirts is typically the patches for both the logo as well as the team crest, which are not embroidered like you'll find on the replica variations. Instead, they're kind of heat pressed on plastic, which is a little bit thinner and a little bit lighter. But what I like about this is the detail of making it textured like it's actually stitched in. That's the case for the gold Adidas logo, as well as the Juve logo, which I think it looks a little bit better as fake embroidery there. It also has a patch at the bottom stating that this is the authentic version of the shirt. All in all, the quality is fine, but I'll be honest, if somebody handed me this shirt and told me it was the replica version, I'd believe them. Now, Puma's version of an authentic shirt isn't that different from Adidas, but I do think it's a little bit nicer in certain aspects. The main material you're gonna find across the front of the shirt as well as on the sleeves and shoulders is a material that has this almost honeycomb type pattern to it. And it's really nice how they were able to print this kind of shattered ice design on there. That actually looks a lot better in terms of the quality of the printing versus what you have on the Juventus shirt, which again, design is going to vary from shirt to shirt, but I think that this graphic ends up looking a lot more clear. And then on the back of the shirt, mainly where the name and number goes, you can see there's an even more technical material that has this kind of almost three-sided shape design that I think looks very cool. I wish they would have used that for the entire shirt. I think that looks a lot more expensive and technical. Something else that they've added in that's not so much a copy of what Nike's done in the past, but I remember it most distinctly from Nike, are these laser cut holes that you have along the side of each shoulder. So they basically press on a thin layer of plastic and then laser cut a hole through those plastic pieces for the sake of some extra ventilation, again, in the aim of keeping you cool. You also have those laser cut holes at the back of the neck. The collar, super soft at the back. It's also a really nice detail that they did embroider City right there, but that's kind of more specific to this design. And then as far as the logos and patches go, the Puma logo is just very thin, kind of plastic pressed in. And then the City logo is a little bit thicker and it does have some minor 3D texturing to it, but for the most part, I wouldn't say that it's overly premium looking. And then at the bottom, they too specify that this is the authentic version of the shirt. As for Nike's take on an authentic shirt, it is by a long shot the most technically impressive out of the three variations that I'm going to be showing you in this video. The materials used have so much variation. You can see along the shoulders, it has this almost fingerprint-like design, which just looks really cool. In terms of the thickness and stretchiness of the material, the Nike one is definitely thicker than what you're gonna find from both Puma as well as Adidas. When you get to the sleeve, it transitions into a completely different pattern of knit that has some extra thickness and tension to it, which again, I think feels really nice. You can see running through the middle, it ends up thinning out and being a little bit more ventilated with a very specific pattern running throughout the entire shirt. The logos, or I guess in this case, the stripe printed across the front is extremely clean. The lines are very crisp, very high quality there. On the back, you're gonna find a much thinner material, again, with plenty of ventilation in an attempt to keep you as cool as possible. This particular shirt does have a collar. The collar material, super soft. A lot of times these collars can feel very rough. Not the case here at all. It does have the two buttons as well, and you can see they really did a good job of kind of cleaning off the edges here and almost like heat pressing it on. There's no visible stitch there, which again gives us a very futuristic technical look. And then something else I really like are the Nike and PSG patches here, which are actually embroidered, but they're pressed on. Or I'm not sure if you would call that embroidered. It's kind of like a textile finish, but it still looks like an embroidered logo. And you have that same thing with the PSG logo that actually has some silver in there as opposed to white. Very premium looking. And then another signature detail of the Nike shirts this year is this band that basically runs from the bottom of the shirt into the middle of the armpit, where they include a little bit of a design variation on this one, all embroidered in the material. You can see it reads Paris Saint-Germain 50 ans, which are 50 ans, which is the 50 years. And they too specify the authentic aspect of this shirt in black and gold with a little French flag detail right underneath it. Which brings us to the next question, how do they fit? And perhaps more importantly, which one fits the best? Of course, they're all in my size. I'm gonna try them on for you. Just keep in mind, as a point of reference, I'm about 6 feet tall and as of this morning, 205 pounds. Also, all of these shirts are a size extra large. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm a little bit surprised at how baggy this is, especially in comparison to previous authentic Adidas shirts that I've had over the last couple of years. Normally, I would get a large, but what I've found with a lot of the authentic Adidas shirts is the sleeves in particular just end up being way too small for me. And these ones are okay. They're still a little bit more snug than I think you'd expect an extra large shirt to be, but it is slim fit after all. All of the authentic shirts are typically cut a little bit slimmer, but the sleeves are still more roomy than a lot of authentic shirts that I've worn. And of course, being an XL, it's quite long. It's a little bit more baggy than I was expecting it to be. Honestly, this doesn't fit that different from a replica variation of an Adidas shirt, which is a little bit surprising because again, normally the Authentics are a lot more slim than this, but I guess that's a good thing if you want an authentic shirt but don't want it to be skin tight. To be honest with you, if I wanted a tighter fit, I could probably get away with wearing a large. Now Puma's authentic shirt, as I think you can pretty clearly see, certainly it feels very different from the Juve one I just had on. It fits significantly more snug in the same size extra large. The sleeves are a little bit tighter, and certainly through the middle of the shirt, or the main body of the shirt, what do you call this? The torso part of the shirt? I don't really know. It doesn't really matter. There's a lot less material here, and the shirt also isn't as long. It's also cut a little bit different at the bottom. In general, the materials feel about the same when you're actually wearing it. It's super thin. It's very lightweight. It's not uncomfortable in any way at all. You don't feel anything as far as patches or logos are concerned. In general, it just feels like a really nice shirt, and I think it fits quite well. I can't believe it was only 170 bucks. Now Nike's authentic shirt, I would say fits pretty similar to the Puma one I just had on in terms of overall cut. The main difference you're gonna find with this versus the other two though is definitely the materials, where I don't wanna say that this shirt feels totally different from any other shirt you could buy for a lot less money, but it certainly is more unique feeling than the other two shirts, which just feel like normal shirts, if that makes any sense at all. And what I mean by that is the shoulders and sleeves in particular, they fit quite snug. It's certainly a thicker material in this area of the shirt versus what you have running through the middle. So that is something that you'll immediately feel when you put this on. It's very thin and light and breathable all the way through the middle, where the sleeves just have, like I said, kind of a little bit more bulk to them, but there's also more stretch to this material. It's kind of a stretchier material all the way through, which you don't really find with the other two, which honestly, given the choice with almost any shirt, I prefer something with a little bit more stretch to it. And that to me makes this feel a lot better. I think the fit is quite good. I think I'd make the argument that it's probably my favorite fitting of the three different brands. And in general, being that it is the most expensive, it does arguably feel the most expensive. And then here's just a quick look at the other design variation from Nike. Mainly the collar is what I wanted you guys to see, where again, it comes up a little bit higher on the back, but it kind of sits slightly away from the neck, so it's not really in the way or anything like that. And then something to note about these as well is it has this little extra slit on the sleeve, which I think is pretty cool. And for whatever reason, the sleeve seems to be a little bit tighter and a little bit shorter on the Tottenham shirt versus the PSG one. So I guess there might be some variation in cut from team to team. It's an XL, so I'm not sure why there's a variation. So in conclusion, based on my own personal opinions and impressions of both the fit, quality, and general technicality that each of these shirts has, who makes the best unnecessarily expensive football shirt? Nike, Adidas, or Puma? Well, I can tell you right off the bat, it's not Adidas. Out of all three brands, it's the one that I'm the least impressed with. I think the quality of the materials, while it's good, it's not $130 good, or at least doesn't impress me versus a regular replica variation of the shirt that I think ends up feeling quite similar. Visually, it's not that different from the replica variation, and honestly, the fit isn't that different from the replica variation. It's just one of those shirts that I think you would only want to buy if Juve or an Adidas team is your club and you want exactly what they wear. Otherwise, I don't think the authentic version is worth it. In second place, I have Puma, where their authentic shirt is similar to the Adidas one in a lot of ways, although I think it's cool that there are visually some more technical materials used. Certainly what's happening on the back, I think, is a cool little detail. I appreciate the laser etched holes on the front and back of the shirt. The printing, like I said, just seems like it's more crisp and high quality visually versus what you have on the stripes of that Juve shirt. And I prefer the way that it fits. It's a little bit more snug, but not too over the top like we've seen with past Puma Authentics. In general, it's really nice. Is it worth $140 though? I'm not so sure. Which of course means that the most expensive authentic shirt is the one that I personally think is the best, and that's the one from Nike. Out of all three, this is visually the most distinctive and definitely the most technical in terms of the materials used. If you see this shirt in person, feel it, try it on. It is visually different from a normal shirt. Is that worth $165 before even adding in the name and number? I guess that's something for you to decide for yourself, but at least in terms of the technology side of things, this one actually feels and looks like there was some thought and detail and some R&D that went into it, where the other two kind of just seem like fairly normal shirts to the untrained eye. And don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you to run out and buy a $165 Vapor Knit jersey from Nike, but what I am saying is if I'm trying to be impressed by a shirt that costs a lot of money, I am the most impressed by this versus what's on offer from Adidas and Puma. So there you have it, folks, $737 of football shirts in one video. Was it worth it? Probably not, but at least you know why they're so expensive, I guess. Anyways, guys, that's it for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to support it with a like. Again, if you're interested in any of these authentic shirts at a slightly discounted price with some SR4U coupon codes, check out those links down below in the description. If you have any questions or opinions of your own regarding these authentic shirts, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section. Always curious to hear what you guys have to say. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, make sure you hit that subscribe button along with the little bell notification so you get notified when the next new video goes live. You can find all my social media information linked down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.